The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, now can you hear me? Oh, cool. All right, who was that that said I can hear you? Thanks. Hi, Pay. We're just waiting for a few others to hop on. So tonight, while we're waiting for a few other people, tonight we're going to be discussing back to basics with essential oils. Hi, maybe only. Okay, who's the hi? Maybe only me. Is that Pi as well? Okay. Alrighty, well, I guess we'll get started so that we're on time. Um, okay, so we're just gonna look at one question box to make sure that everything is going well. Yes, that's okay.
Just ask everyone again if they can hear you, and then I'll see it on my screen.
Okay. If all the people that have come on the webinar, if you could just hit in yes or no if you can hear what's going on so far, that way we can know how many people are ready to go. And if it's all good, wonderful. All right, well, tonight we are going to be talking about back to basics with essential oils, Young Living essential oils, um, in particular. So let's get started. And if it doesn't want to go that way, let's put that down. All right. So again, welcome. And because you're all in your own homes, I don't have to give you any housekeeping tips. I'm sure you know where your toilets are and your exits. But if you were here in the training room, we'd have you recognize where all that is. If you wanted to type in to me one of your greatest achievements over the past week, that would be fantastic, so we can celebrate those as well. But going forward, we want to make sure that everything we do with regards to Young Living essential oils is done in a compliant manner. So this screen that you're seeing now, a disclaimer, and it is important. We just want you to understand that this information is for personal understanding only. This training does not certify the trainee to perform any kind of diagnostic measures, deliver any medical information relating to essential oils, and or make any kind of medical claims relating to and or connected with Young Living essential oils. We understand that compliance is really important, and with everything that's happening with the TGA, we just want to make sure that we're right up to where we need to be. So let's talk about what's an essential oil. Essential oils are substances that have been around for thousands and thousands of years. These substances are aromatic, and they're volatile liquids that are derived from shrubs, flowers, trees, roots, bushes, seeds, and these oils are extracted through a process of steam distillation. And they found that that's one way that the constituents or the things that make up essential oils don't get broken down, and that's how we end up with the therapeutic grade essential oils that we have here at Young Living. Now, just so you have an idea of what it takes to make one of those 5 milliliter bottles of oil that we get, or the 15 milliliter bottles that we have, did you know that it takes 5,000 pounds of rose petals to just produce 1 kilo of rose oil? So you can only imagine how many plants and how many roses it takes to put just 1 kilo of rose oil together. That's a lot of roses. And that's a lot of energy for the planting and the growing and the distillation, the packaging, and all of that that goes into that oil. So now let's talk a little bit about chemistry. We're not going to get into too much detail with these kinds of things because we want to talk about how we use them and how we perceive them and some of the benefits as well. So essential oil chemistry. One of the main things is that we understand that all things are made up of bits and pieces. Your house is made up of plumbing and wood, metal, all the different construction materials that go into it. Well, essential oils are made up of constituents, and there are 14 categories. Now, we're not going to cover all 14 categories tonight. These are just some examples. So you have a little bit of an understanding of what's going on with this. So we have things like terpenes, monoterpenes, phenols, aldehydes, oxides, etc. So some of these are alcohols, some of them are ketones, some of them are acids, and others are oxygenated hydrocarbons. Now, take one of the most popular oils around, lavender oil. Lavender oil contains approximately 200 different constituents, including linalool acetate, linalool cis-beta-oxamine, and terpene 4. So these things, they're all active in your lavender. You don't have to pull them apart for it to be productive for you. It's already there. They're already working. So when you're applying or inhaling, diffusing, or enjoying oils in your drinks or foods, all of these different constituents are playing a part in how those oils are interacting with your physical, emotional bodies, okay? So how do we experience essential oils? First, we can absorb them through our skin. And we're going to talk about how important the skin is as an organ and how it actually does absorb the oils and disperses it through our bodies. The next way is through scent, our sense of smell. And the final one that we're going to talk about is enjoying oils in our drinks and or our foods, okay? We know that adding peppermint oil to, say, a brownie or whatever your recipe for brownies are, that could be an amazing adventure with just a little bit of peppermint. It's like, well, if any of you have ever been to the United States and had a Girl Scout cookie, chocolate peppermint Girl Scout cookies are amazing. And we can do that holistically here. So, yeah. All right, let's get talking about the skin. The skin as an organ. Now, it is our largest organ in our body. It's the most efficient way we have of keeping ourselves in a state of homeostasis, which is balance, basically. Our skin protects us. Think about it. We're all different sized human beings with lots of different organs and tissues and vessels inside of us. And your skin is the thing that protects you from any invasion. And in fact, your skin can will even protect you from things like colds and viruses, unless you have an open wound or your immune system is really low. But it's your barrier to the outside world. So it protects, it helps keep us in balance, not too hot, not too cold. Think your sweat glands help you to reduce the amount, or reduce your temperature, your body temperature. And conversely, your skin helps you to keep your body temperature, the warmth in to a certain degree. Now, your skin is your first way of sensing the world kinesthetically. So it's our sensory receptor, and it helps us to create perception. Think about cold and heat. The nerve endings in our fingers and in our hands or anywhere on our skin, if you bump up against a hot kettle or you girls out there with hair straighteners or curling irons, you know what that first degree little feels like. But our skin helps us to perceive temperature, danger, different chemicals, or you know, you know right off the bat if you're hopefully we're not washing with harsh chemicals, but if you are using a bleach or anything, that smell is going to go right through your, that bleach will be right in your skin. You'll smell it. It may even cause like a bit of a warmth sensation or a burning. So of course you would wash that away right away. There are 3 layers to the skin, and those 3 layers are the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. So looking at the skin, the epidermis is the very top layer. The dermis is where that red bar reaches down into past the vessels and the sebaceous glands, which sweat glands, and your hair follicles. There's also a bit of fat down there. There's yellow little balls down there. That's all fat. And then you get it more into the the lower layers of your skin, which is the hypodermis. Now, you can see how your hair follicle is just like a little tube there. And you can see that the sebaceous gland, or the sweat glands, that's an opening right at the edge of your skin. So just think about when you're placing those oils, either, if you're doing raindrop technique, or if you're just putting some of the oils on your hand and put it across the back of your neck, you can see how your skin will absorb that, not only through the hair follicles and the sebaceous glands, but you've also got blood vessels that are right there under the epidermis of your skin. And that all helps to carry all of the constituents of the oils through our bodies. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of reflexology. If anybody wants to put in a yay or a nay there, that would be great. Reflexology is ancient as far as a healing process. And reflexology is basically the principle that certain parts of our bodies, i.e. our hands, our feet, our ears, can all give us like a map of the body. They're called reflex points, and they all relate to different parts of the body, organ systems, your brain, your back, all that. Now, when you press or rub or stimulate those areas with pressure, it helps to stimulate the body's own natural healing process. The body will start to begin to clear blockages away and reestablish positive energy flows, balancing itself and resulting in a greater amount of wellness. When we talk about raindrop technique, we use the words rejuvenating, revitalizing, and harmonizing. So reflexology does all those things as well, and adding oils to that just gives it a whole new level. So you can see here on the hand reflexology chart that every part of our body is mapped out in our hands. And if you look here, you can see that to even a greater degree, we're looking at a map of our entire body on the bottom of the feet. Now, if anyone's done raindrop technique prior to this year, you would have heard them speaking about the Vitaflex process. We don't use those words anymore for raindrop. We use the spinal reflex point, and we use it's the same technique. It's still rolling over that and stimulating that area of the foot, but we're not using the Vitaflex anymore because of compliance things, right? So if you're looking at this map, this shows you how, yes, thank you. Yes, the roll and release technique. And we use that all the way down the inside of the foot, down along the spinal reflex point there. So now we don't have to, as users of Young Living or distributors, we're not looking to be reflexologists. We're just having a general awareness that these things are here and we do have the ability to create a greater level of wellness. Now, your duty of care as a supplier of a service or product, what do you believe that your duty of care is with regards to product information? If anybody wants to pop things up in there, I'd be happy to get some feedback. Aromatherapy, massage, and reflexology, these are all practitioners. They study, and they get a qualification in their areas. All of these practitioners are trained in these specific areas, and they're aware of the uses and contraindications of the therapies that they're trained in. Not everyone would be as trained or skilled in knowing all of the oils like an aromatherapist would. But that doesn't mean that we can't include them in our practice. It's not. There's nothing to say that essential oils, can't be used when we're doing raindrop technique on our friends and family. Of course they would be. That's part of the process. Same thing with, like, we have a massage class coming up at the end of July. It's a very basic massage class for beginners. It's not going to make anyone, that class won't give anyone the qualification as a massage therapist, but it will give you an idea of how to help someone relax using special massage techniques and essential oils. Now, duty of care requires you, as a representative of Young Living, not to make any medical claims. So, like I said, like when we're talking about raindrop technique, or we're talking about any of our oils, really, we really want to make sure that we're being compliant. So we're using words like calming, revitalizing, harmonizing, rejuvenating, those kinds of words. We're not making any medical claims. So to keep going, what can we say? We can say things like supporting, invigorating, calming, stimulating. If anybody has any other ones that they know of that are really good, pop them in there for me. Things that we're not going to use because they do relate back to a medical process or practice would be cures, heals, eradicates, or treatment. Okay? Now, let's get to the sense of smell. This is the olfactory system. So your olfactory system is all about how you perceive scents or odors. Now you can see in the picture there's lots of tiny little pieces to this system. But basically, the odor particles come in either through your nose or through your mouth. You'd be surprised how much smell we do get from breathing in through our mouth as well. But for the most part, the odor particles will go up through your nose and right into that olfactory, where the olfactory neurons are, which sit right at the base of your brain and the top of your sinus. So those odor particles go in, they're processed through the olfactory neurons, and then you get a response. Either a triggered response because, say, like, you remember how it smelled in your grandma's kitchen when she was making bread or chocolate chip cookies or pasta or whatever, and you might get a really good warm feeling about that. Sometimes, though, we'll get a trigger response that from a scent, and we'll talk about this even more in a little bit, but we'll get a trigger response from a scent that isn't so nice. But that's because scent is so embedded in our memory, and you can see how close the perception of scent is directly to your brain. And also, in a slide coming up, we'll talk about the limbic system, and that directly links the sense that we perceive to our emotional selves. So, the olfactory system, 10 million olfactory cells. Now, think about your beautiful or handsome little face in the mirror. All of those olfactory cells are right behind your nose, in your sinuses there, and ready to give that information to your brain. There are 350 receptor types composing the mucous membranes inside the nose. So there's not much we can miss scent-wise. And that goes from dirty socks to roses. So, we're very adept as human beings into perceiving our world through the sense of smell. Human beings can differentiate about 10,000 different odors. So now I want to challenge you. Think about, or if you have them right there available to you, think about your 3 favorite oils, blends or oils, by themselves, singular oils. And if you don't have them with you, go get them and bring them back, because we're going to do a little bit of an activity. And while you're doing that, I'll just keep talking and talk about the neural, physiological, and emotional associations that scent can create. When you have your oils, just pop in yes for me, okay? Thanks. Neural, physiological, and emotional associations directly related to scent can create either an emotional response, or it could cause it, those types of memories, or scents that create or have an emotional memory could even, hello, okay, thank you for that. Sorry, I was just seeing the oils that are coming in. Brenda, if you are still on, could you let me know if there's other ones coming to you? The only one that I can see is orange, tea tree, and rose. But if there's been other responses, that would be great, because I can't see them. Oh, just getting yeses. Okay. All right, no worries. Okay, so you have your oils there. Pick one, any of them. And if it's a blend, I just want you to pass that oil underneath your nose. And I want you to write down the first 3 words that come into your mind. It could be like how it does smell, but anything. I don't want you to filter it, just, okay, thank you. Wow, you guys are getting good at this. Thanks. Cool. I love all these ones too. They're awesome. So I just want you to pass that under your nose and write down the first 3 words that you get. And when you're done, type them in for me. Because it's interesting. Some people will get, some scents will bring out a positive response for someone, and the same scent could cause a not so positive response in another person. But that's because one person will have one set of memory about that particular scent, as someone else will have another one, or a different type of memory. Cool. Fresh, scented, and amazing. Happy and joy. And then there's also, what else was there? Clean spice. Oh, okay. I'd be curious to find out what cedar wood elicited as a response from the person who put that in there. Awesome. Thieves, calm, cinnamon, spicy. Sweet. All right. So, smell and memory. We know that odor information is stored in the long-term memory, like the chocolate chip cookies. Cool. Roast lamb. Awesome. Awesome. So, odor information is stored in long-term memory and has strong connections to our emotional memory. Pheromones is another thing. The couple there that are in the picture, pheromones are incredibly important in how we attract. Okay, how we attract or repel other human beings. The person who was talking about cedarwood, they said it used to smell like cat pee to me, but you did ask. But does it smell different to you now? It'd be interesting, because I wonder at what vibration you were at when you first got it, or where you were at emotionally when you first smelled cedarwood versus where you're at with it now. Um, it is true that it smells that way or that it's getting better. Okay. Um, so pheromones are a scent that we, as human beings, they love it now. They love cedarwood now. Brilliant. So you had a change there. Something shifted for you. Awesome. Um, we've got, like I was saying earlier about, if you're washing, um, you know, lots of mums and grandmas, and not everyone's, that's a generalization, but lots of moms and grandmas used bleach in their wash, to make sure everything was white and sanitized. But bleach can be really harsh, and in your skin, if you've ever washed with it, you'll know it sticks around for a while. Um, we know that odor information from foods, chocolate chip cookies, for example, or a specific perfume that someone wore. If you really loved that person, you're going to like that perfume. If you didn't like them so much, you probably don't like that perfume so much. Essential oils, of course, and herbs. Someone said that rosemary reminded them of lamb dinner. Well, yeah, of course. We cook lamb with rosemary. The oil has all the constituents from depending on what species of rosemary plant we're looking at. But those herbs are going to give us a reminder as well. So remember I spoke about the interaction with the limbic system or the emotional brain during the inhalation of anything, whether it's an essential oil or whether it's a food. Those molecules travel up through the nose, like we said before, and they go directly to the limbic system, which transfers it to the information to the emotional brain. Now, smell is this quote from Helen Keller is amazing. Smell is a potent wizard that transports us across thousands of miles and all the years we have lived. Helen Keller. Every scent that you've ever experienced is in your memory somewhere, and will give you information to continue to live by. Think about how if we create positive associations with essential oils, think about how profound that can be. We know that lavender can be very soothing. We know that citrus blends are very stimulating. Certain oils are very grounding, and other ones help us to reach a different level in our spirituality. So all of these things are extremely important, and the way we perceive them, whether it be through our skin or through the sense of smell or through enjoying the oils in our drinks and or foods, all of these things make a huge difference in the level of wellness that we can create for ourselves, our families, our friends, and those that we share Young Living essential oils with. So, trigger sense and psychological or physiological responses. Trauma. Now, if you can see, these are a little bit color coordinated, sort of. Trauma, any kind of trauma, whether it's a fright or it's an actual physical trauma, your physiological response to the scents that are around you at the time of the trauma will consistently and continually help you or trigger an adrenaline or cortisol response. Adrenaline comes from your adrenal glands. It's the fight or flight response. Your cortisol is the stress hormone. Cortisol is found to be high in blood levels in people who have experienced physical traumas, emotional traumas, if they're unwell for an extended period of time. But we can use oils either through diffusing or laying the oils on the body or through foods and liquids to help us to calm ourselves, to find that rejuvenation or to find that space where we can just be for a little while. Now, personal sense, we've got pheromones, we've got testosterone, women's hormones as well, but we're not attributing hormones to or being able to manipulate hormones with oils because that wouldn't be compliant. We don't want to breach that. But personal sense like pheromones, testosterone, estrogens, things like that help to make up those personal scents. And they're the things that, like I said, like if you like Granny and you like her, you'll like her perfume pretty much. But if you don't like Granny so much, that personal scent might not be too pleasant for you. Now, I wanted to let you guys know on these slides, on two of these slides anyway, this one in particular and one coming, you'll see that YouTube link. Unfortunately, you guys can't click on it, but if you write it down, they're two really short but really good, solid information videos that you might want to watch. So I know this is being recorded and you'd be able to get that information off the recording, but if you want to write that link down so that you have it, that would be fantastic. I don't think I can copy and paste. No. Okay. Well, if you want it again, we can go back to it and then I can share it with you again. So fight or flight response comes in with the adrenaline and the cortisol. We talked a little bit about that. Here, this poor girl is studying for an exam, and she's a little bit stressed out. So her adrenal glands are pumping, her cortisol. That doesn't allow her to really be able to focus very well. Because think about it, when you're in fight or flight, your heart's racing, you're trying to find a way out, and that's not what you want when you're studying for an exam or doing, your due diligence for a mortgage or anything like that. So we want to be able to make sure that we have resources like the oils and some practices like mindfulness or whatever like that to be able to get yourself into a good positive state and be able to focus. Now, we talked about associations earlier, and this is the process of neural associations. So neural means your neurology or your neurological system, your nerves, your sensory perceptions, your brain, your spinal cord, all that part is your neurological system. There's heaps to it, and it's way too involved for us to get into tonight, but creating neural associations is a great way of not only bringing the information or the benefits of the oils into an internal space. External is like how we perceive the world. Internal is actually creating something, an anchor within you, directly related to an experience. So to create a neural association, a positive neural association, let's say with, I'm looking at thieves. So say thieves. The experience. We have, maybe someone who's feeling a little bit under the weather, not feeling really energetic or anything like that, feeling a little bit run down. We might diffuse thieves, or we might rub a couple of drops into the bottoms of their feet and their hands. As you're doing that, you're changing the energy, you're giving them a feeling, and they're creating a meaning. So you can only imagine, say if someone's not feeling so well, you're doing something kind and nurturing for them, you're giving them a bit of a light massage or just rubbing their feet and their hands. They're feeling nurtured, they're feeling supported. So they're creating a meaning. Oh, well, when thieves goes on my body, or when I diffuse it and I smell it, I perceive it through my olfactory system, I get a certain feeling, or I have an emotion. That's your neural response. Then by continuing to see positive benefits through that: increased wellness, feeling of a general well-being, those things. That creates more anchors, and then that neural association is what they have for with thieves. Neural association on the negative end would be, say, you're cooking and you put your hand close to the stove. It's really, really hot. You get a meaning right off. I'm going to burn myself. That's going to hurt. You've got the feeling and the emotion. There's your neural response. You pull your hand back. So just as much as that kind of stimuli can create a neural association, so can we do with oils or emotions or feelings. So who's up for creating some neural associations for themselves? Now, I can see you guys when you write in, so please give me a yay or a nay. Lots of yeses. Awesome. All right, sweet. So, look, we're all involved with Young Living because it resonates with us. It feels right. We have a desire to help other people, including ourselves, our family, our friends, and whoever else that we want to share or we can share these oils with. The one thing that makes a huge difference in sharing it, even if you're even if you're a customer, or if you're a distributor, or you're a silver, or you're gold, or you're keen to go diamond, wherever you are in your journey with Young Living, gratitude is one of the most incredible energies to be in, because it gives us the ability to be able to share without expectation, or it gives us the ability to give information without, having any kind of need to get something back. All right, so we're going to do a gratitude stacking exercise that I usually do with people who are in front of me. So this is going to be interesting. So we're not going to be able to do it as much of a meditation as I usually do. But what I'll have you do is, after each section, I'm going to ask you to type in the word yes and say it out loud to yourself, okay? So if you're ready for this, stand up, shake your body out, get yourself in a really great state. And when you're ready, type in yes. I like the big yeses. Awesome. Yep. Sweet. Cool. Alrighty. For a moment, if you would, I would just like you to think about a moment when you felt joy, just pure joy. The experience that you're remembering fills you up, lights you up, makes you feel happy, excited, nurtured, cared for. It was like all was right in the world. Now I want you to see that experience out in front of you, and with your right hand, reach out, grab that experience, bring it into your heart, and say yes. Type in yes for me now. Awesome. Now I'd like you to think about a moment where you felt incredibly loved and loving. There was nothing upsetting. You just felt so incredibly loved. See that experience out in front of you. Reach out with your right hand. Grab it, bring it into your chest, hold it to your heart, and say yes. And type that in for me now. Wonderful. The next thing I'd like you to do, the next experience I'd like you to think about is an experience where you just had to laugh out loud. It was just so silly. Everything was just funny. It was one of those times where you couldn't stop laughing. You were breathless because you were laughing so much. See that experience out in front of you. Reach out with your right hand, grab it, pull it into your chest, and say yes. Type that in for me now. Woohoo! Yeah. You guys rock, seriously. All right, now the last one. This is one of my favorites. Think about a sexy time. Something went, oh my goodness, the world was your oyster. Whether it was in a relationship or like you killed it in your job or in a project that you had, it was sexy. Everything about it was sexy. It was going all good. 100% yes. Reach out, see that experience in front of you, reach out with your right hand, grab it, bring it into your chest, and say yes. And type that in for me. You guys are amazing. Yeah. Cool. Very, very, very cool. All right. Now, in this state of gratitude, this is how you want to share Young Living essential oils. This is how you want to get that information out there. This is how you want to build your teams out of gratitude and with this knowledge. Now, granted, this is not every bit of knowledge about aromatherapy or essential oils that is out there, available to us. It's a basic level of understanding so that we can go out and we can share it and give people authentic information that makes them feel valued and shows them that we have something incredibly valuable to share with them. Now, this was one of the other links that we were talking about. Light sensitivity and essential oils. We do have to be aware that some of the essential oils can cause UV light sensitivity, and this could result in a sunburn. So this link there, copy that down if you'd like to go and watch that link. But here are some crazy pictures that I found. And this guy in the middle, he is the one, I mean, granted, none of these should be happening, but this little guy in the middle, this is the one we really got to protect him. The other two can do it for themselves, but this little guy, we want to make sure that we don't ever put him at risk for sunburn or any other issue. So we just got to be solid on the information that we pass across. So things that we want to consider when we're sharing Young Living essential oils are just have an awareness if someone has a medical condition, if they're pregnant, it's really important. Hypersensitivity to scents. And I said that one because some younger children and older adults who have things like emphysema or asthma, things like that, they can be triggered really quickly, and we just have to be aware. We don't want to put something that's really strong right in their face because that could cause them a challenge. Allergies or sensitive or broken skin. We always need to be aware of that, especially like not to diminish the importance of it with any other oil, but one thing that's been weighing on my mind, I guess, because we're going to be training it on Saturday here at the training center, is the raindrop technique. Some of those oils, particularly oregano and thyme, they're really warm, very warm oils. And if someone has sensitive or broken skin, we really have to be aware of that. V6 is a great anecdote. It calms down the oils, it lessens their intensity. And it's always good to have on hand. So, all right, now, oh, sorry, I found another video. So there's a third one. Now, this activity would be something that we would have done together in the training room. We did sample some oils earlier, and you gave me your perceptions. But this might be something that you could do, at your one of your previews, or any of your meetings. Do this activity with your teams. Get them really, into sampling the oils, writing down their responses and or feelings. Ask them how many layers in a blend do they smell. It's interesting. Some people are really, really keen. Their sense of smell is really keenly acute. Other people, not so much. But have a go. See what it's like. This is another thing, another, and lactating. Yes, you're right. All of, very important. Sorry, I got distracted. So yes, we need to be aware of lactating mums just as much as mums to be. Okay, so now that's all the slides that I have for you guys. And we have about 12 minutes left. If anybody has any questions, I can take questions now, and we'll do our best to answer as many before 8 o'clock comes around. So if anyone has a particular question that they'd like to put in, go right ahead and we'll get to it. One thing I found with the essential oils, now that we're coming into creating the recipe books and things like that, one of the oh, you're more than welcome. Who uh, your message started with just thank you. I'd love to know who that was from, because I'd like to thank you back. Oh, where to reference dilution rates for children? Carla. Hi, Kelly. Thank you. Okay, Carla. You too. Um, Carla, let me get that information for you, and I'll get that right back to you. Can we have the slides with the links put back up? Okay. We'll go to the first one. That one, that big link is just a reference for me. But where's the first one? Nope. Okay, there's the first one. Let me see if I do this. No. Sorry. Okay, there's a question. Can you smell too many oils at once? My sense of smell is weak, and I just started yesterday with your PSK. Thanks. Hey, Sally. I appreciate your question, and I get it what you're saying. Yes, start out slowly. And there's lots of reasons for that, because if you're not used to the oils, you want to bring your body into alignment and, with gently. Okay, just so you guys know, the recording of this webinar will be in your virtual office in a few days. So the links will be there, and all the information will be there as well. Sally, back to your question. The other part of that is, if you mix too many different things all at one time, you might get results or responses that you won't know which oil to attribute it to. So Slowly ease yourself into it, get familiar with each one. How does it make you feel? What, you know, is there a physiological response? Is there an emotional response? Write it down for yourself. This is just for you. Um, and that way you know what's resonating with you, what's in alignment with you, and what's going to help most. Does that make sense, Sally? I hope so. Was there another one? Yeah. So for the person who asked for the slides, you will have that on your VO soon. So in the next couple days, that will be there for you. Oh, alrighty. Do we have any other questions? Thanks, Sally. um, okay. Out there saying no to ingesting egos. I understanding it while has certain oils that you can ingest. What if the customer doesn't know if they're allergic to a particular oil? Okie doke. Ingest is one of those words, from my understanding, that we are not allowed to use due to the TGA and compliance. That's why, if you heard me, I kept reiterating enjoying oils in our drinks and or foods. Yes, there are some Young Living essential oils that are labeled, that they're able to be used in foods and drinks, and one of them is lemon, and now they're starting to put a little sticker on the tops of the oils that can be used in drinks and foods. So you're welcome. So that part of it is there. Now, what if a customer doesn't know if they're allergic to a certain or allergic to a particular oil? Again, like I said to Sally, it's about starting off slowly. You can, I want to clarify this before I say it out loud. Hold on a second. Okay, with regards to allergies, we have an oil in Young Living. It's called Common Sense. Maybe we should add that into this process. It's about really starting off small. One drop in a glass of water, or however they want to try it. Skin patch testing on the inside of your upper arm. That's a really great place to try there. They're just going, it's about trial and error. Like, we know that, or we don't know if a child is allergic to peanuts until they have a reaction. So yeah, we just have to be really gentle and start off small. Do we have any other questions? I'm not sure who sent that question in, but thank you, and I hope I answered that for you. If there's any other questions, I just have a few things I'd like to let you know about after we're done, or if there's no more questions. Okay, is there? No. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you guys for showing up tonight. You know, these webinars and the trainings that are happening here at the office, at the training center here, you know, they're there for you guys as a resource. This is our way of being able to help you, you know, increase your product knowledge, your business knowledge, you know, knowledge for yourself, and you know, that's why I'm here. So use this resource that you have. We do have a raindrop coming up on July 16th, which is a Saturday coming. And also we're having a basic massage class at the end. I believe it's on July 28th as well, and that's with Brenda. So if you have any needs for training, please pass them on to me or Brenda. My email is Thompson, CONTHOMPSON @youngliving.com.au. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. If you want training on something in particular, email me so that we can organize it for you. And use this training center. This is a beautiful place for you to bring prospective customers or distributors, friends, family, not for dinner. You want to save that for home. I mean, bring them here to help them to find out more about Young Living. All right, sweet. 3 minutes to go. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up, for being amazing. You guys absolutely rock today. And I'm really excited about having lots more of these. I was scared to death to start this tonight because it's been the first webinar that I've had in a long time, but this was fun. Let's do this again. All right. Thank you again, and look for the recording of this webinar in your VO in the coming days. And yep, talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. My name's CJ. Good night.